If you've seen any of my previous videos about trademarks, you've likely heard me say that you have to be using a trademark in commerce before it can be registered with the USPTO. But what exactly does that mean to use a trademark in commerce? I'm going to explain to you what it means to use a trademark in commerce, how to determine your date of first use of a trademark, what can happen if you get that date of first use wrong, and how use in commerce can affect your trademark rights. Welcome to All Up in Your Business. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that little bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video and so you don't miss out on any more hot trademark tips. Hi, I'm Aiden Durham, business and branding attorney with 180 Law Co. in Colorado, and I've helped hundreds of businesses secure and protect their trademarks. The number one most important thing to remember when it comes to trademarks is something you've likely heard me say before. A trademark isn't a trademark until it's a trademark. When you're applying for a trademark registration, you have to give the date of first use in commerce. That's the day your trademark became a trademark. So let's talk about what that means and what it means to use a trademark in commerce. And make sure you watch till the end because I'm going to tell you why not knowing your first date of use in commerce could even make you guilty of fraud. I've talked in previous videos, like this one, about how it's possible to file a trademark application on a 1B intent to use basis, which means you're not yet using the trademark in commerce, but you have a bona fide intent to do so. But the trademark won't be registered until you've started using the trademark in commerce and you provide proof of that use to the USPTO. Because it's not a trademark until you start using it as a trademark. Because a trademark isn't a trademark until it's a trademark. You also need to let the USPTO know the specific date of first use of the trademark in commerce. So how do you know if you're using a trademark in commerce and when you started using a trademark in commerce? I've had a lot of conversations with clients where we'll be talking about this, and I'll ask when they started using the trademark in commerce because I need that date of first use for their trademark application. Quite often, I'll get a response back like, well, this was the date that I formed my LLC, or this was the date that I purchased the domain name for my business or for my trademark. No. Neither of those things constitute use of a trademark in commerce. Simply forming an LLC or purchasing a domain name doesn't make your trademark a trademark. The official legal definition of commerce is all commerce which may be lawfully regulated by Congress. Oh, Rocky just shut my light off. Rocky, come on, buddy. Oh, pal. Yeah. All right, we're back. Hopefully Rocky's not going to lay on my power strip again. Where were we? Anyway, okay, commerce means commerce that can be lawfully regulated by Congress. And use in commerce means the bona fide use of a mark in the ordinary course of trade and not made merely to reserve a right in the mark. There's a whole big drawn out definition of what use means with respect to goods and services and exactly what that looks like, but it can pretty much boil down to this. Use means you are actively marketing and selling your goods or your services to consumers and that you're using the trademark in connection with those activities. Whether the trademark is affixed on a product or product packaging or a product display, or if it's used on a website or other materials to market and sell your services. It's not enough that you've just filed for the LLC or purchased the domain name. You have to be actually engaging in the business and using your trademark in the ordinary course of those business operations and actually selling, marketing, promoting your products or your services. So that's what it means to use a trademark in commerce. But let's go back to this in commerce part. Again, commerce in this sense means a type of commerce that can be regulated by the United States Congress. This means that it needs to either be interstate commerce, like between two states, territorial commerce, like between the United States and one of its territories, like Puerto Rico or Guam, or commerce between the United States and a foreign country or foreign jurisdiction. To pretty grossly generalize, because there are not exceptions, but there are different ways that this is actually applied. But as a gross generalization, it means that you need to sell your product or service to at least one person from a different state or territory or country from where your business is located or where it operates. Is this all starting to make a little bit more sense? I sure hope so. Hit that thumbs up and like this video, or comment if things are starting to come together for you. It's not always easy to say exactly what use is, but we know from case history and legal precedent that there are a few warning signs or red flags that a certain kind of use may not be enough to really constitute use in commerce of a trademark. Some of those factors or red flags or signals are, number one, single or very infrequent shipping of goods that are normally sold in larger quantities in your industry. Second factor, sales to friends or family. Of course, that doesn't mean you can't sell your products or services to friends or family, but kind of some of these like nominal sales to a family member, those by themselves may not be good enough to constitute use in commerce of a trademark. A lack of concern for whether the purchasing public ever has an opportunity to buy the product. So if, okay, I'm selling it to a lot of my friends and family, but the general public, general consumers never encounter this, never have an opportunity to buy the product themselves. The owner of the mark doesn't engage in any kind of marketing or promotional activities to sell the goods or services. The first use of the mark was followed by an abnormally long hiatus from using the mark, or labels used on a product were handmade or otherwise not of a normal commercial character. Now, all these things, just because this might be true in your instance, these things don't necessarily mean that it's not use of a trademark in commerce. These are just some factors that might be like a red flag to the USPTO, or in a situation like this, if you've only sold one product to a family member and that one product had a handmade label on it, it all kind of ends up looking like sham use of the trademark. So those are just a few things that can kind of help tip you off of whether this is actual, legit, bona fide use of a trademark in commerce. Again, it really just boils down to using the trademark like a normal business would in the normal course of doing business. Consumers are able to see the trademark in the marketplace when they're encountering your goods or your services. And again, it's so important to know what use in commerce means, because we have to give that date of first use in commerce on the trademark application. And we have to be accurate with that date of first use. If your trademark is ever challenged or re-examined by the USPTO and you're unable to demonstrate and prove that that date of first use that you indicated is valid, your entire trademark registration could be canceled. You could even get in trouble for fraud if you don't put the accurate and correct date of first use on the application. That's right, fraud. When you submit this information about the date of first use, you're making all kinds of promises and declarations saying that this information that I'm giving you is truthful and valid and accurate, and you are promising to the USPTO about the truthfulness and the accuracy of that date of first use. So if it later turns out to be wrong, it could be pretty bad and it could be considered fraud. So you really can't take this stuff lightly. If you're ready to start the trademark application process for yourself, I can teach you the exact process that I use with my clients and the precise steps that you can start right now that will have you ready to hit that submit button on your trademark application in just 7 days. Head to this link or check the link in the description to learn more about Brandish and start DIYing your trademark application today. Securing your trademark registration is vital to the growth and success of your business, and your business and your future self will thank you if you take extra care to make sure that that trademark application and registration is valid and accurate and as strong as possible, including with regard to that date of first use. If you got value out of this video, hit that little thumbs up button to give me a like and share this video so we can spread the good word of the importance of trademark registration. And be sure to check out some of my other videos for more legal tips and tricks for your business. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I will see you next time.